Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, and today we're going to take a look at the Leviathan half of the Space Marines box set. Now we're going to go through all the contents of this box set, talk a little bit about what all the units do on the tabletop and how these models inside the Leviathan box set can be built as well, before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial set of models. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list. This one will be 1500 points because the contents of Leviathan, if you take one particular upgrade, do come out to a perfect 1000 points. So we're going to look at that next 500 points you can use to expand upon after this first initial purchase here. And so let's start talking about all the models inside Leviathan, and we're going to start with the Captain in Terminator armor. You got movement 5, toughness 5, a 2-up save, 6 wounds, and leadership 6+ with a 1 point of objective control. This model has a variety of different weapons it can take, from combi weapons and storm bolters as its ranged weapons, to chain fist, power fist, relic weapons, thunder hammers, and even pairs of lightning claws, replacing both its storm bolter and main relic blade that it comes standard with. Now, most of this model's weapons will hit on the 2+, though some of the things like Chain Fist and Thunder Hammer that are the more unwieldy weapons will hit on a 3+. You got a lot of Rend 2, Damage 2 across there, though you do have things like the Lightning Claws, which are Damage 1, but they will come with things like Twin Linked. The big thing for this model is its right to battle. Once per battle round, one unit from your army with this ability can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 CP, and even if another unit has already used said CP. The Imperium Sword as well, while this model is attached to a friendly unit, you can reroll charge rolls for the unit it is attached to. Now, the next thing we've got is this model obviously can be attached to units, and this includes all the various different types of Terminators, from Terminator Assault Squads, Relic Terminator Squads, and your regular Terminator Squads. Joining this model is another Terminator armored character, and that is the Librarian in Terminator armor. The two big things here is you've got your Smite Witchfire power, which can be used in either a Focus Witchfire or regular Witchfire. Then you'll have D6 attacks, and depending on which one you go for, will have either Strength 5 -1 AP, or the more focused version will have Strength 6 -2 AP, but both being D3 damage. You've also got your Psychic Hood, which is a really cool thing that all Space Marine Librarians will get. They'll give you Feel No Pain 4+ against any psychic attacks that target this model or a unit it is leading. Veil of Time is a psychic power it can use as well, while this model is leading a unit's weapons that are equipped with them, they'll have the Sustained Hits 1 rule, and it's also got a 4-up invulnerable save. Now moving on, we then have the first of our secondary characters, and this is Lieutenant with Combi Weapon. Now, Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, he is a lone operative, so he won't be joining any other units, but he does have some cool rules. First of all, priority objective identified. At the start of the first battle round, if your army contains one or more models with this ability, you can select one objective marker on the battlefield to be a priority objective, and until the end of the battle, while a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of that objective, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within range of that priority target, you can reroll a Wound Roller 1 against said units. Evade and survive as well once per turn. When an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 inches, this model can make a free normal move, so really hard to pin it down. Lastly, we have the Apothecary Biologist. This model has its surgical precision, where while it's leading a unit, it can give out lethal hits, and the Vivid Spectrum means if this model unit destroys an enemy unit as a result of a melee attack, till the end of the battle round, this model's objective control characteristic will count as 9, which is just insanely good. Now, the first of the units we get inside this box set is the Infernus Squad. This is the squad with all of the Flamers. So they have Pyroblasters, they ignore cover, and they've got the Torrent ability, meaning they will automatically hit. They've got D6 shots each with Strength 5, no AP, and Damage 1. Now, the Purge the Foe ability allows them to, in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, you can select an infantry unit hit by one or more attacks from the Pyreblaster, and that enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. We then have 5 Stern Guard Veteran, who can have a variety of different weapon options. Stern Guard in general will come standard with their Stern Guard bolt rifles, which are 2 shots at 24 inch, ballistic 3+, strength 4, -1 AP, damage 1. You can go to some combi weapons if you want, and in this particular box set you will get 2 different combi weapons. There'll be ballistic skill 4+, strength 4, no AP, damage 1, but they will have anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds, and rapid fire 1. You've also got the bolter drill rule in here, where once per battle in shooting phase after this unit's shot, if any enemy units were destroyed as a result of its attacks, it can immediately shoot again. You can also take, per 5 models in the unit, a single heavy bolter as well, which you get devastating wounds, heavy and sustained hits 1. Now moving on, we then have the Terminators. These are of course a great unit to go with either of the 2 main Terminator characters inside the box set. And so you will have the Teleport Homer, where they can start off the battle and come onto it via the Teleport Homer for 0 CP. And the Fury of the First means each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to their weapon skill or ballistic skill. And they've got a variety of different weapon options they can take to upgrade one of every 5 models to a heavy weapon, though in this particular box set, you will only get the Assault Cannon, which is devastating wounds but 6 attacks, ballistic skill 3+, strength 6, no AP, damage 1. And the last model we get inside this box set is of course the Ballistus Dreadnought, the giant shooty dreadnought. Ballistus Strike means each time this model makes a ranged attack, the target unit has not below half strength, you can reroll the hit. And you've got a variety of high damage weaponry, and can be quite high D6 damage weaponry as well. And so, where to look to next? First of all, we probably want to look at grabbing some units that are going to support the characters that aren't going to be in units based on that initial box set. And the first of these are the Gravis Armored Troops that we can attach our Apothecary to from that initial box set. Now, heavy intercessors I like a lot, and the reason, first of all, I'm going to suggest them is their battle line. This gives them high objective control, and you can actually start taking multiple of these units within your force if you want to. Heavy intercessors will have toughness 6, a 3+ base save, and they've also got their heavy bolt rifles, assault and heavy on them at a 30-inch range. 2 attacks, ballistic skill 3+, strength 5, -1 AP, damage 1, and they've got the unyielding in the face of the foe ability, where while this unit's within range of an objective marker you control, each time an attack with a damage characteristic of 1 is allocated to them, they actually get +1 to their saving throws. You also have access, where 1 in every 5 models in the unit can also have a heavy bolter, which is going to provide them with a little bit of extra kick and damage in their shots. Another unit we can look at for our Gravis Armored Apothecary to join is the Eradicator Squad. This is going to be a squad that I think definitely feels at whole we don't potentially have a lot of answer for. Now, we don't have a lot of high strength ranged weaponry outside of that Ballistus Dreadnought, so taking some Eradicator can certainly help fix this. Generally, they will be armed with Melter Rifles, which are 1 shot with the Melter 2 and Heavy rule. They've got 3+ to hit, strength 9, -4 AP, damage D6. So you can put a multi-melter on 1 in every 3 models in the unit, and this will give them an extra shot, but will reduce the ballistic skill to 4+. Now, Total Obliteration is their special rule. Each time a ranged attack is made by a model that targets a monster or vehicle, you can reroll the hit roll, and you can reroll the wound roll, and you can reroll the damage roll, so making them excellent at taking out those big threats on the table. And so, looking at something else I think we definitely lack within this force after looking at the sort of heavy weaponry, we definitely need a transport for some of the models on the table. This is going to be really important for helping get our Sternguard veterans around the table, or some of our other units as well, but normally mainly them. Now, this model is called the Impulsor. It is the Primaris transport, and it can transport up to 6 Tacticus or Phobos Marines, and it can't transport any jump pack infantry. Now, it has, the ability to get those Sternguard in there and transport them around the table, giving the really good firepower that unit has, the ability to get to where it needs to, and also be useful as the transport. Now, there's also some other cool things it can do during the game. If our Inferno Squad gets decimated or something, it can pick them up and redeploy them if need be. But it does have some cool things. The Orbital Comms Array allows you to effectively refund command points around it on the D6 roll of a 5+. If you've used a command point on a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit within 6 inch, you'll get the command point back. And you can take a shield dome on it as well, which will give it a 5+ invuln, making it a pretty survivable little vehicle with 11 wounds and toughness 9, and potentially that 5+ invulnerable. Lastly, we have the Terminator Assault Squad. Now, they've got the Teleporter Homer, same as their tactical Terminator friends. This is going to allow them to come down on the battlefield after being kept out in reserve. And they've also got the Terminus Assault, where each time this unit ends a charge move within range of an enemy unit, your enemy unit must actually take a Battle Shock test, which is incredibly powerful. Battle Shock is such a powerful ability in the new edition. They do have a toughness 5, a 2-up base save, and they can pack out quite a few attacks depending on what weapon loadout you go with. You can either take the Thunder Hammer, which will have devastating wounds and 3 attacks, and strength 8 minus 2 AP damage 2, or you can go the Lightning Claws, which will give you the Twin Linked rule, but 5 attacks at strength 5. And so here we have our sample army list. Now we've gone for Space Marines. Generally, you don't have to, in the new edition, pick the chapter of Space Marines you're doing unless you're playing something like Blood Angels, Dark Angels that have their own detachments to use. But for the purpose of this, we are looking at Ultramarines, though unless you're starting to include any named characters, this could be anything like Iron Hands, Salamanders, Howling Griffins, whatever. Now, we have gone with the Captain in Terminator armor being our Warlord, and we've chosen to give them the enhancement for the Force, which is going to cost us a little bit of extra points here, but Adept of the Codex. What this one does is we can only put it on any Captain models, but at the start of your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, instead of selecting the Combat Doctrine to be active for your army, you can select the Tactical Doctrine instead, and if you do so until your next command phase, that doctrine is active for the bearer's unit only, though even if you've already selected that doctrine to be active for your army this battle. So pretty cool. You can give your sort of Captain's unit here an additional turn of Tactical Doctrine. Now we've then got the Librarian in Terminator armor. He's chosen the Storm Bolter over the combi weapon because that is the loadout we get inside the Leviathan box set. And then our other two characters are the Lieutenant with combi weapon and the Apothecary Biologist. Heavy Intercessors with a Heavy Bolter make up our battle line, and then our other infantry will be an Infernus squad in there. We've got Sternguard Veteran squad with 2 combi weapons and a Heavy Bolter, the loadout that we'll see inside the box set. Eradicator squad with a multi-melter, and a Terminator Assault squad with 5 models in there as well. Now, we've then got a dedicated transport, the Impulsor. We've gone taking the Iron Hail Heavy Stub on it, Frag Storm Grenade Launchers, and the Shield Dome for that all-important Invon on it. Lastly, rounding out the list, we have our other vehicles, the Ballistus Dreadnought, taking us up to a perfect 1500 points for the Space Marines in 10th edition. If you've got some ideas on what to grab after your Leviathan box set for the Space Marines, if there's a particular chapter you're thinking of running your Leviathan box set as, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Love to hear from everyone on what you're planning to do with your Leviathan box set. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there, like Baron of Dice, Gap Games, or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description, and as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallers, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C, and our YouTube members, Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.